Director, sir. Good afternoon to all. Somebody said me that whether you have prepared the presentation. I said yes. He said that you don't need to make any presentation. You can simply go on talking. I said I intentionally keep the presentation and PPT because whoever wants to see the presentation, they can see the presentation. Whoever wants to listen to me, they can listen to me. And whoever doesn't want both, he can say either of that. Now, I have been given the topic on available opportunities on valuation. Okay. I will take you to the tour now. Tour how valuation profession has evolved in India, of course. Of course, I will take after independence. I will not talk about before independence. And at what stage we have reached? What are the new opportunities which have been emerged? I will also in between say that how we can grab the same. How we will remove our threats. How we will meet the challenges. All these things I will try to cover, and I try to encourage the new entrants to take up bigger challenges in coming future, because India, since yesterday we have been talking that India is the fastest growing economy. It is going to take over. Imports, exports have increased, and so many things have been said about Indian economy. So why not to the valuation profession? That we have grown to such a level to fly to any heights. Next. What you can give me now? I can take. Good. Now see, we all know that we started from the wealth tax. And wealth tax, you read wealth tax carefully, then it was simply restricted to the capital gain tax and whatever valuations emerged under Income Tax Act. But since there was no mechanism available of registering the valuers, this was widely accepted by the banking industry and the industry whoever wanted to utilize the services of valuers. At that time, there were no other regulations in our country. So people, corporate world also used them, and our valuers gave the reports knowingly, unknowingly, ignorantly, or whatever it may be. Okay, and they might have been used properly or might have been misused knowingly or unknowingly. But then looking to the growing demand under the banking industry, I think we are thankful to late P.C. Goyal, who instituted the institution of valuers and instituted the approved valuer under the head of institution of valuers, and widely accepted these professionals in the banking industry. And today also, the first line they say a qualifying remark that one should be the member of a professional body, and first name always comes to institution of valuers. So membership of institution of valuers has been widely accepted by the industry and mostly the banking industry. Then IFRS now, coming long way, IFRS was to come in 2011, and somehow it has delayed, but at that time everybody was waken up, including accounting bodies, financial bodies, and all these people, that they will have to converse to IFRS and follow in the corporate world, and they have to report the balance sheet and profit and loss account based on the market value rather than the historical cost. So that was the starting point to think on the valuation. And IFRS, if you read, it is full of valuations, But at that time, the knowledge and the expertise was limited to the very few accounting bodies. Now it has been spread after Companies Act 2013. So Companies Act 2013 made a chapter, special chapter on registered valuers, and but somehow the registering of valuers delayed for quite a long time. But in between, IBC was brought in, and IBC called for valuations by valuers registered under the Companies Act. I think that provoked, and system made the IBBI as an authority, and under that Valuation Rules 2017 were brought, and that was the turning point for all the valuers of the country, because they were waken up and they thought that if they have to grab the opportunities, they will have to register under the Companies Act 2013, because till then, under corporate world, there was no need or there was no specification that particular kind of valuer will be there. So that is how the 2017 rules has made a sea change, and you know that RVs and RVOs have been instituted and registered under the Companies Act. And RVOs of course played a very important role of training the people for 50 hours and of course continuous education as well. So these valuers, and only 3 categories have been made, that land building, plant and machinery, and financial assets. So land building valuers, earlier there was a differentiation under Land Tax Act that land, agricultural land and land other than agricultural land. But now under corporate world there is no restriction. So if I am registered under land and building, and if the corporate entity owns the agricultural land, nobody can restrict me to do the valuations from for the agricultural land. I think this is the opportunity created, I would say. And if somebody is not doing the valuation of agricultural land, they must do. They start, and nobody restricts you. Coming to REs, and then duties and responsibilities and functions have been well defined. Code of conduct has been well defined. I think this is how we have come to this stage. And now, lately, you would have observed that banks have also empaneled IBBI registered valuers, and I think in the qualifying criteria they have put first IBBI registered valuers, and then they have brought to they have put up the wealth tax registered valuers. It doesn't mean that wealth tax registered valuers are not knowledgeable. They have of course very high knowledge, but IBBI registration under Companies Act has a different kind of glamour. Next. Sorry. Now see, opportunities for registered valuers under Wealth Tax Act. You can see the capital gain, income tax, income disclosure scheme. They also say that their registered valuer under Wealth Tax Act will be Black Money Act or rules. There is also that Wealth Tax registered valuers will be using stamp duty. Transfer pricing under income tax, I think there also valuers registered under Wealth Tax Act are being utilized. Then SARFAESI Act, mortgage and debt restructuring, I think still banking industries are using the Wealth Tax registered valuers. I think this is what the domain of Wealth Tax registered valuers under the domain. Next. Now, opportunities for registered valuers, I think as I said, that the moment Valuation Rules 2017 has come, the scope has increased like anything. Till then, our valuer community